So this morning, started off this morning with a nice run with Bullet, a 4.5 mile run with my dog Bullet. Was listening to some music, some of my own music. I was songwriting a bit, and then I was listening to some Bob Dylan. Again, I'm reading the Bob Dylan documentary, or biography, actually, not documentary. And one thing that I'm finding interesting about it is the documentary is very interesting, but actually I was listening to the music, and to be honest, I was having a hard time connecting to the music, and which is interesting because he's like, you know, one of the American great songwriters, right? And it was interesting that I was having a hard time connecting to the music. And I was thinking to myself after the fact, I'm like, I wonder to some degree if it's almost like the Bible, in the sense that without full context of what you're reading or listening to, it doesn't make complete sense. In the sense of, there are references in the Bible, or stories in the Bible, or analogies in the Bible, that you have to understand where and when it was written, and use the context of where it was written to understand what it means. Now, for example, an example of that would be today. Like, for example, if you saw, this is actually something my pastor uses as an example. If you saw a picture in a news article about an elephant and a donkey fighting, you wouldn't actually think that it's an elephant and a donkey fighting. You would know that it's the Republican and the Democratic Party of the United States going at a political battle, right? So you have the context of where you are today to understand that. So it's the same with the Bible. There's certain references, certain things that like would make sense to them that don't necessarily make sense to us unless we have the context. Now, I'm wondering if it's kind of similar with Bob Dylan's music, in the sense that I'm listening. It's almost like the album I was listening to came out in 1964. That's 59 years ago, almost 60 years. That's before my dad was even born. This album was released. So now I'm trying to listen to it with context of today, you know, an album that's older than my dad. And I feel like I, to some degree, had to kind of go back into where they were, what was going on in society, what people were talking about, what was happening in the world, to kind of understand where this album is coming from, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud, but I think that could be something interesting. That also being said, I'm on my way now to the diner. Gonna get some breakfast and songwriting done, and then doing some homeowner stuff. Gotta go run the Home Depot. One, to get a little more dirt, but also two, actually, the main reason I'm going is for an outlet broke in my house, and I have to fix that. I have a neighbor that has this saying that goes, "Homeowner, job never done." It's true. I feel like there's always things that we want to do around our house, right? So, but it's a blessing. It's a blessing to be able to have a house and do them. So there we go. Hey, you never know. Maybe I'll be writing my hit song in there right now.